New this morning, ABC News is reporting Ukraine President Zelensky will be heading to Washington next week in hopes to reach a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia. Now, this comes after a high-stakes meeting between Russian President Putin and President Trump in Alaska yesterday. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details.
President Trump is back in our nation's capital following a high-stakes meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. On Friday, the two sides holding a news conference and shaking hands after speaking behind closed doors.
I believe we had a very productive meeting. There were many points that we agreed on, most of them, I would say, a couple of big ones that we haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway.
Our negotiations have been held in a constructive atmosphere of mutual respect. We had very thorough negotiations that were quite useful.
It's unclear what the two sides agreed to. Friday's talks took place at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska. A B-2 bomber and 4 F-35 fighter jets, a symbol of American military might, flew overhead as the two met on the tarmac. Then, with the backdrop of pursuing peace, the U.S. delegation led by President Trump, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff sitting across their Russian counterparts. One key person not in attendance, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. In recent weeks, Russia has escalated its attacks. July was the deadliest month for Ukrainian civilians since May 2022. Zelensky calls this week's strikes a sign Putin is not prepared to end the war, adding he wants a ceasefire and security guarantees that would protect Ukraine from further Russian aggression. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Anchorage, Alaska.
And Trump has not shared any details on what was discussed in that meeting. However, he did praise Putin on a good meeting, saying they got along great.